Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dream Mix TV World Fighters. Smash Brothers hasn't come out with a third game yet, so I can't really tack that title onto the end of this one. I did not think this joke through. In the last episode, we finished off story mode, and, well, I said that we were going to show off a few more things, and so we are. This is caravan mode, everybody. It's 8 missions as a means of extending gameplay and my channel's longevity, so let's roll. It doesn't necessarily matter that you can't read Japanese, or if you can't read Japanese, because most of the missions are fairly easy to grasp once you actually get into them. So the first mission sees you take control of Licca-chan inside her house. As you can see, it's been invaded by heart generators, and we have to clean up this mess. What fun! We have a target of 8,000 points, which, from a gameplay standpoint, involves us collecting more tokens than the game actually throws at us, which is an excellent design choice, I think you'll find. Well, okay, no, it's not more tokens than the game throws at us, but you do need to be really lucky, especially given as how the token generators are randomly generated, and the way that they throw the coins are randomly generated. I have completed this mission a couple of times, but I've always done it on the very last second. It would be helpful if you could actually use Licca-chan's special move that collects all the hearts on the screen, and then a bunch of them that aren't on the screen. I mean, you saw it while we were fighting her as Megatron, but you can't really do any moves, which is unfortunate. You see what I mean? You do it on the very last second. That is ridiculous. Also, I like how they gave you such a massive line for tokens when, well, we barely broke 300. Okie doke. Mission 2, we take control of Bomberman. Sorry, Shirobon, the White Bang, Flashbang. Flashbang sounds like it'd be a pretty good name for a superhero. Or a toilet cleaner. As you can see, we're fighting in front of Devastator, and he's throwing bombs at us. Since this simply will not do, we go ahead and smack the bombs out of the way. As you've seen, we start off with... Oh, that's just unlucky. We start off scoring 100 points a bomb, and this increases by 100 points every subsequent bomb we hit, up to a total of 800, and this resets if we miss a bomb or take damage. So basically, it's kind of like playing Audio Surf as mono. Except don't play Audio Surf as mono. Why would you do that? There are so many better characters in Audio Surf. Me? I'm a Vegas man. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Vegas? Vegas is a really cheap character. And you know what I say to that? Yes. Yes, she is. That is why I play as her. That, and she's kind of the only girl character. And I have this weird fascination with playing girl characters. We've explored this before, you know? And how about that? That was my best score, and it still wasn't enough to reach the first slot. Oh well. Mission 3 is kinda equal parts fun and uninspiring. As Tyson, we have to run around the stage and pick up that yellow heart thing. And we have to pick it up 30 times before the clock runs out. That's it. That's basically what you're just going to see for this mission, us running back and forth. So, I suppose I should probably talk about the level, because I've discussed Tyson and whatnot during the Let's Play. This particular stage is Trina and her forest friends, except she's not called that in Japan. I think she's called Kaede in Japan. Either way, the playset that you see here is an actual playset. It's Trina's Apple Tree Cottage. Like, you can actually buy this if you want and play with it. Not sure why you would. And anyways, yes, you unlock this stage by completing story mode with Megatron, of all people. Quite why you unlock it with Megatron, I don't know. I mean, it would certainly make more sense if Megatron unlocked Devastator, rather than a completely unrelated Kakarot tour line, but... oh well. Mission 4 is one of my absolute favourite missions from the entire caravan. We play as Pro Power-kun, a character that completely got neglected during the main playthrough. And we have to pick up volleyballs and throw them at the balloons. The scoring is much the same as in Bomberman stage. So, as you can see, we score up to 800 in increments of 100. The only difference being that it doesn't carry over. So once you've thrown one ball, the score resets. So there's less emphasis on chain your attacks together, and there is more emphasis on just pick up the beach balls and throw the damn things. Pro Power-kun is from the Pro Power series, and it's a collection of baseball games. And much like EDF from All-Star Fighters, he's not one character, he can represent any number of generic characters. So with that in mind, he doesn't have a voice. His voice is actually provided by like an outside play-by-play commentator, much like good old JR Jim Ross. And you know what? I think they should include more wrestling smack talk in sports. Well, no, like classic wrestling smack talk, like Rock or Foley mic work. You take some of that, apply it to chess, I think that would be brilliant. I would watch it. Especially if everybody got dressed up in ridiculous spandex costumes. Oh, hey, speaking of wrestling, here comes the pain! And not in the good Brock Lesnar is about to stomp some face wrestler into the ground way. This mission is actually genuinely annoying and painful. We have to pick up all of these tokens floating around in the sky, and we have to do it with Twinbee. Now, if anybody knows of Twinbee, you may be thinking, easy, right? Twinbee can fly. Yeah, not in this mission you can't. Also, none of these platforms work. You fall right through them. The solution is you have to use a technique that's not actually explained in the game. It is mentioned in passing in the manual, but screw the manual because who actually reads that? If you push up an X as you pass a ledge, you will grab hold of it. It's just a really awkward and clunky control. And it's an absolute pain that they make you do it in this mission, especially given that you have to play as Twinbee, who he's not a very good runner because he's designed for jumping and flying, except that, as I say, you can't really do it in this mission. And you know what? I don't care about that mission. I am not overly fussy about doing that, because screw it. It took me an hour to do that during my initial run through these missions, so no, I'm not going to do it for you. I am going to do this. It's another chasing the heart around mission, but, well, we have a character and a stage that we haven't seen before. The character in question is Sengoku Manjimaru, and he is the main star of Tengai Makyo 2 Manjimaru, which is a Hudson Soft RPG, and he's the main character, if the fact that his name was in the title of the game didn't tip you off. It's a pretty simple, pretty simple RPG with a pretty basic plot. He's the good guy, he has to go out and fight the bad guys. Turns out that at some point his dad fought the bad guys in the past and they won. Droid loses Droid, Droid becomes Chameleon, Chameleon becomes Blob, Droid gets Blob back again. It's a classic tale. By the way, this stage right here is one of my absolute favourite stages. I don't know if it's the combination of purples, greens and reds, or the fact that there is something delightfully evil about fighting in and amongst the thorns of a titanic demonic rose. I love it. The rose actually does act as a stage hazard when you play that level in fighting mode. It will, on occasion, wake up and roar, throwing everyone to the edges of the screen. It's pretty cool. Mission 7 includes another premise that this game doesn't really tell you about. If you push and hold one of the shoulder buttons, then you put up a shield. Using this, you can block attacks and projectiles, much like the bubble shield in Smash Brothers. And in this case, we're playing as Master Higgins, and we have to bounce balls off our head. Ah ha ha! Again, it works on the bizarre audio surf scoring, and it's kind of a pain because a lot of it requires very good reflexes. Although I will say, while some of the earlier levels like Licca-chan stage were randomly generated, this particular one is not. It follows the same pattern every time. Do you know what else would help this stage? If that crab stopped throwing balls at us. To that end, who is throwing these balls at us? I like to think that, like, Bonk or Bomberman are just off to the side throwing these things at us to punish us because we're in the game and they aren't. By the way, did you know that Bomberman actually is Lode Runner? It's... At the ending of Bomberman for the NES, it says something like that, and it doesn't really mean anything, it's just, you know, just an interesting little tidbit. And now, the final mission. The Pied de Resistance, the point towards which the entire game has building. It's going to be something new and original and amazing, right? Oh. I guess it's just another Chase the Heart level. It's kind of a shame that the game ends on such an anticlimactic point. Insofar as the game actually does end. I mean, I imagine that this would be the last thing that a lot of people would play with this game, because you don't unlock anything by doing this. I think it would be better if you did, like if you got 1 or 2 extra characters or stages, but you get those by playing through story mode, so the caravan is just something to do. Well, no, tell a lie, you unlock entries in the library, which let you look at the original versions of some of the characters, but what you've seen today really isn't worth a couple of pictures of Optimus Prime toys, really. By the way, that stage usually blares an absolutely rockin' version of, what is it now, Bloody Tears, except that every single mission in this game uses the bonus stage music, so you don't get to hear it. And yeah, there you have it. That's the last of Dream Mix TV World Fighters. I might show off 1 or 2 melee fights just to demo some of the other characters, as I mentioned before. I don't know. But until next time, goodbye.